Hello and welcome back to another session of Therapy and Panels and the continuation of Black History Month. Today we will be going into the vast cosmos of the intergalactic police force known as the Green Lantern Corps and talking about John Stewart. No, not that John Stewart. This John Stewart. Created by Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams, his design was based off actor Sidney Poitier and was one of the first African American superheroes to appear in DC Comics. He originally wasn't a strong character in comics, and his popularity was pretty low until it grew due to his role in the Justice League animated series, where he was voiced by Phil Lamar. And with that, we will be seeing how John Stewart's reaction of becoming the first African American superhero in the DC universe is as we dig into Green Lantern number 87. This cover seems kind of off to me, with it seeming like John is more of a villain who just defeated Hal Jordan. This is one of those cases where, in my opinion, it just makes you not want to care for the new character when they make it act like the character you've always loved is nothing compared to the new guy. I don't know, that's just me. The story begins with Hal Jordan charging his ring at home when an earthquake begins suddenly. Once it stops, he goes around the city to see the damages and to see if anyone needs help. Somewhere off a broken bridge, school teacher Guy Gardner. Wait. That's Guy Gardner? Man, post-crisis Guy Gardner was more chill. Don't know about you guys, but I'm more used to that loudmouth guy who Batman knocked out with just one punch. Anyway, Guy is trying to get one of his young students away from the edge of the broken bridge. Suddenly, the bridge breaks apart more, causing the empty school bus to fall, smacking Guy in the process, and the both of them go falling until they are saved by Hal. Hal gets them to a hospital and learns Guy will be out of commission for a few months, which is a bit of a problem, seeing as how, if anything happens to Hal, Guy was supposed to be the replacement Lantern for Sector 2814. Fortunately for him, the Guardians are way ahead of him and found a new replacement for him to train. We then cut to an urban area off the city as a cop is harassing some youngsters just playing dominoes, stating they need a permit, when we are introduced to John Stewart telling the cop he is full of it. Luckily, a more respectable cop arrives to drag his not-so-respectable partner away before any trouble occurs. Hal and the Guardians were watching this whole thing take place. I don't know, sir. That cop doesn't seem like that he'd be much of a lantern, but if you say so. Though still unsure with how he handles things, Hal recruits John and begins to train him. It seems John is a natural as the two are flying around to see a plane arriving with a very important guest. As a group of people surround the area, a truck carrying oil hits a slippery slope and almost hits the crowd. Hal manages to save the group and has John deal with the truck. John manages to stop it from hitting anyone, but it has it shoot out oil, particularly on one, Senator Jeremiah Clutcher. Later on, when Hal talks with John about it, he learns that he let the senator get hit with oil due to claims of being a racist. Hal decides to teach him he isn't a judge and decides to have him be the senator's personal bodyguard during a speech he's giving later on. As the two are hanging around listening to the speech, an assassin arrives to kill the senator, and Hal heads out to stop him, but John stays back. Look, racist or not, you don't have the right to have this happen as a hero, dude. I'm really not being a fan of this John Stewart. Turns out in the parking lot, John was saving a cop from being shot, and before Hal can chastise him, he explains the whole situation. It turns out the assassination was a setup with blanks fired at the senator, while the real killing happened in the parking lot to make it out to believe that the black community has gone mad and the senator came out as a hero. Really took a shot in the dark there, didn't you, John? The senator, I suppose, gets arrested, more like a slap on the wrist, and later on Hal apologizes to John for judging his actions so harshly as we end the issue. And that is the first appearance of John Stewart. And from my diagnosis, I honestly didn't care for it. For me, it is mostly the story, and it's only really with John's character for me, especially when it comes to the Senator. If we had more things beforehand about some sketchy things that the Senator did that made people believe or think it was more racist, then I would find it more understandable. But he just appears out of nowhere, and it's just almost like just a judgment call. And it just really makes it kind of weak when John just suddenly puts two and two together when he remembers, oh, the assassin and the senator came out of the same plane together, and I guess that they were in some kind of cahoots out of racism or something, I guess. I don't know. That part needed to have been written better. But outside of that, it's just whatever. And with that, that is the end of today's session. I'd like to thank you all for attending. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I am the Super Guru, signing off.